Hey, Shalom, Shalom, all praises, honor, glory goes to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles, elder bishops, the great millstone, peace and blessings to you fellow brothers pushing out this word in truth and sincerity. It's your brother Chanak coming back with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. And, I just want to go into a quick little lesson. I got a scripture here, maybe one or two. But just kind of, just the last couple of days, there's been a lot of enchantments going on, with these mass shootings, these derailments, when, these toxic substances, going into the water, these different states all around the United States, different buildings blowing up, a lot of crazy things, out of the ordinary are happening. Especially, that shooting, with, 6 people died. We know pretty much that this is nothing but the Mistress of Witchcraft working. Okay, which is nothing other than America, Babylon the Great. So let me just go into the scripture, Nahum. I might read the whole chapter of Nahum, which it goes into Nineveh, but is really speaking about and prophetically speaking about Babylon the Great. Just like when Jeremiah, when he spoke, when he was, Jeremiah, Isaiah, when they were speaking about Babylon, it wasn't speaking about ancient Babylon, but modern Babylon, which is Babylon the Great, America. Okay, and really we can't let our guards down and be deceived. All right, by, it's nothing but witchcraft. It's nothing but enchantments. Major enchantments are going on all throughout the world, especially here in Babylon the Great. The people here in Babylon the Great have no idea what's going on. The leaders here in Babylon, America, are saying peace and safety. So we already know what time it is. Okay, let me bring this out. Nahum 3:1. Woe to the bloody city, which is America. It is full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not. Right. America. America is that bloody city. How was America established? It was established by blood. It was established by lies and robbery. All right. And it's propped up. Its foundation is lies and robbery. Okay. And let me go to Habakkuk. I think it's Habakkuk. Give me a second. Habakkuk 2. Right. Right, Habakkuk 2:12. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood and established a city by iniquity. Okay, woe, meaning destruction. Just like it says here in Nahum, woe. All right, Habakkuk says woe. It's all speaking about this one great city. Okay, which is America, which is that great city, which was founded by blood, which was founded by, iniquity. All right, and even to this very day, the Israelites have been slain. Okay, the noise, I'm back in Nahum. The noise of the whip and the noise of the rattling of the wheels and of the prancing horses and the jumping chariot, that's the bustling city America. All right, which is always, there's all type of commerce going on, not so much more, manufacturing going on now, but more buying and selling and transporting of goods. Okay, these different goods that they buy from China, that they buy from India, that they get from Mexico, that they get from Brazil, they ship them in. All right, and all these other nations have became rich because of the goods that they sold to Babylon the Great. Revelation 18 chapter, when you go into that, when you read that. Okay, you have this financial crisis looming. These banks, failing. All right. And the majority of the people here in Babylon the Great, starting with you Israelites, all right, you're not occupied in prophecy. Your mind is not geared towards the prophetic parts of the book. I mean, as far as end time prophecy and all these things that will happen in, the end time. We're getting ready to come into 2 Ezra 15, 2 Ezra 16. Great tribulation, mourning, woe, lamentation. Okay. and you're preoccupied in marrying each other. Oh well, the scriptures say, as in the days of Noah, they shall be eating, drinking, and giving in marriage. I mean, that pretty much sums it up. That's the spirit of Babylon the Great, even within the midst of the sons of God, which are the Israelites. Verse 3, the horsemen lifted up both the bright sword and the glittering spear, and there is a multitude of slain. And these horsemen are these other nations that are pretty much getting ready to shoot their missiles on Babylon the Great in the very near future. As the world order changes, as America loses its superpower status, as it loses the world reserve currency, which is all set up from the beginning. It's all set up to bring in this digital currency, this new world to the order. Okay, so we're not ignorant of that device. All right, as well as all these other devices of craft, trying to take the guns, which, Esau here in America is not going out with a fight. They're going to try to ban, weapons, which Kentucky, they just passed a law in which, stopping, I'm not sure exactly, all the details, but pretty much stopping, a ban of assault rifles in Kentucky. Dabu 7 was going into that, which he's from Kentucky, or he lives in Kentucky. Okay. And they were saying this is a big win for the people. Nah, it's woe. It's woe to you people. All right. It's woe to Esau. It's woe to 2/3. All right. And it's woe to the heathens, which a lot of these heathens, all right, they're going to flee, all right, and leave America because it's going to get too hot. When they can't make they were only here to make money. When they can't make no more money, they're going to get out. They're going to get out of America. The horsemen lifted up both the bright sword and the glittering spear, and there is a multitude of slain, and a great number of carcasses, and there is none in of their corpse. They stumble upon their corpse, right? And this is a vision, really, of Babylon the Great, not necessarily Nineveh, which Nineveh fell, but this is speaking about Babylon the Great in the future, the multitude of corpses. Okay, because there's going to be a great slaughter in this land. All right, America, Babylon the Great. All right, well, let's go into why. Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot. In America, is likened unto a harlot. All right, you have the Statue of Liberty. All right, which is nothing other than a deity, a god. But that's like the symbol of America. Revelation, the 17th chapter, goes into that harlot as well. Let's bring that out, actually. Okay. And not just any harlot, the well-favored harlot. All these nations, they want to, come over to America. They want to participate in America. They look at America and they hold America in a great stature, which is diminishing now. But nevertheless, once upon a time, America was this great nation in which all the nations wanted to come over. And if not come over, but have some type of dealings with business-wise to become rich. All right. Let me bring this out. I'm gonna start at the top. I'm gonna read a couple of verses. Revelation 17:1. And there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials, which those vials are the judgments. Okay, and that last vial is the nuclear war. World War III, Yahushua coming back. And talk with me, saying, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. Right. That favored harlot. Okay, which sitteth upon waters. The waters are the people. And Esau gathers all the nations here. I mean, this is the big melting pot. No other place in the world do you have, a big mixing pot of nations that come together under one banner of do as thou wilt in the pursuit of happiness, which is nothing other than a lie, which is nothing other than witchcraft, because you Israelites, you don't obtain happiness, okay, in America, maybe these other nations somewhat, because they their money is God, mammon. Okay, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication. That's that well-favored harlot, as we're reading in Nahum. Okay, all the nations want to come and lay down with Babylon the Great because they're gonna get rich. Okay, they can come over and participate in the LGBT community. They can, be open, be free from the confines of, their law and their religion, and, whether it's the Middle East, whether it's this, whether it's that. And the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication, which is her philosophies. Okay, the American philosophy, which is pretty much do as thou wilt. Get rich, die trying. The pursuit of happiness. Okay, make as much money as you can. That's true happiness. Okay, indulge in the flesh. All right, there is no moral law. You can do whatever. You like men, you can be with men. You like boys, you can be with boys. You're a woman and you want to be free from the confines of your husband. Okay, the natural law, you can do that. So all these nations, they pretty much created their economies like America. Okay, and they have drunk of the wine, and they become drunken. The precept there is Jeremiah the 51st chapter. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman. It's that same woman as we're reading in Nahum, sit upon a scarlet colored beast, which is pretty much their power structure, which is, NATO, the EU, the Roman Empire coming back. You got the beast and the dragon, which is pretty much synonymous. It's the same thing. Okay. But America, the whore sits upon that beast, which when you sit upon, a beast, you're in control of that beast, as well as that beast supports you. Okay. It gets you, if you're on a horse, that you're in control of that horse, but that horse also, is somewhat of stability to you. It gets you where you need to go. Okay. Sit upon a scarlet covered beast, which goes into that red, which is synonymous with Esau, full of blasphemies, full of names of blasphemy. They blaspheme the Most High. They blaspheme his son. All right. They crossed out his son, Revelation, the 11th chapter. All right. They blaspheme the Israelites. They, portray their signs as God. They say there is no God. Having seven heads and 10 horns, and these are the states that form this beast. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, which represents royalty, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls. Okay, because if you walk outside, I'll say in the ancient world, even now, you're in purple, scarlet. Which back then, those were two colors that, were very hard to obtain. Okay, so if somebody was decked in purple and scarlet, they were in kings, and princes. They were, amongst the king's house. They would be considered royalty. All right, and somebody walking around, decked out with gold, literally wearing gold and precious stones and pearls. All these things are precious commodities that the average everyday person doesn't have. Okay, so this is America, which is pretty much what John is seeing. He's actually seeing this vision, but he doesn't know that it's America. But this represents America in its glory and its marvelous position. Okay, as being the world leader. Okay, in our time, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication, her Federal Reserve note, her petrodollar, right? Her currency, he pretty much went around and changed, all the democratic. They changed all the what's it called, monarchies into democratic republics. Okay, they changed the fiat, or the money system into fiat currency. All right, they started to inject Western culture You can find Western culture all throughout the earth. Okay, all these nations, they have they participate in sports. That's a Greek and Roman tradition, which is that beast, the traditions of the beast, the Roman Empire. Okay, they all soccer teams and gymnasiums. Okay, the way that they dress, the jeans and the suits, that's all American. Okay, like I said, the political field, that's all American. The liberation of women, that's all Edomite. Okay, ways of life, which is nothing but confusion. Okay, which is nothing but filthiness and fornication. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. So I'm going to go back to Nahum. Okay. The mother of abominations. Okay. The mother of witchcrafts. Okay. Nahum 3 and 4. Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, that it's that same whore, it's that same harlot, Revelation, the 17th chapter, the mistress of witchcrafts. Because everything that you see is a sleight of hand. All right, hey, it's all type of Masonic and Illuministic and satanic symbols. Okay, within his media. Most of these media platforms, they have the all-seeing eye, like CBS, NBC. Okay, you see that pyramid all the time. They have the hand gestures and the signals, and they have the way that they speak, and the numerology. We can't forget about the numerology. Okay, the mistress of witchcrafts, that sell of nations through her whoredoms, and families through her witchcrafts. Okay, which goes into the way of Babylon the Great, which is it's packaged as liberating to mankind. We're gonna liberate. It's the same thing with all these medicines that Esau wanted you to get shot up with. 2020, all these nations, they either participated, signed different documents to have their inhabitants take that jump shot, or they develop the jump shot as their particular nations, like China develop a jump shot. But all that technology goes back to Esau. All right, so they sold out their nations. Okay, to participate, the leaders, that is China, Russia, India, to participate in the what's it called, the prosperity, that America, Babylon the Great, will give you if you just sell your citizens out. Okay, behold, I am against thee. All right, the Most High is against this well-favored harlot, this whore, Babylon the Great. Behold, I am against thee, said the Lord of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face. Right, all these nations are starting to de-dollarize. They want to join the BRICS. They want to get out of the financial system. Okay, they're building up their military. All right, and then they're seeing that America has what? They have a drug problem. Or you have this new drug called Trink here in the streets of Babylon the Great, which is, they take it, they inject it in their arms, and it's worse than the opioids, which there's still an opioid crisis. There's a poverty crisis. There's a housing crisis. There's a this crisis, that crisis. Okay, this is the skirts. This is your skirt being lifted up, which a woman who has on a dress or a skirt, if she lifts that up, that's that's shameful. Okay, for you to see the privy parts of a woman, or a man or a woman, but in particular a woman, which these women here in Babylon are just like the image of Babylon, which is a harlot. So it only makes sense that the women would take on that spirit as well, okay, of whoredom, okay. There's a big debate if a woman having a big body count, a high body count, if that matters or not. Some say it matters, some say it don't. Okay, that's complete madness. Okay, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. So all these kingdoms, all these nations, they just pretty much want to suck dry America all that they can. Okay, sell as many goods to America as they can. Okay, make money, as they can, get as much as they can out of America, and then they about to dump this hoe. Okay, they got drunk, and it says that the nations were mad as well, because they got duped. Now they have to go into a new system, but their economy is going to suffer. All these nations are getting ready to suffer, even though America is going to suffer the most. Okay, verse 6, and I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and I will make thee vile. All these nations going to get up out of Babylon. Okay, they're going to flee from Babylon because it's going to be filthy. It's going to be vile. Okay, all these government services are going to be broken down. The financial system is going to be broken down. People are going to be, it's going to be skirmishes and killing each other. All right, because all these people, they were in excess. They were living on, their high horse, and then the rug gets pulled up under them. Okay, they lose the value to their currency overnight. And then all these currencies, these other third world countries, their currency increases. And overnight, America becomes a third world country. All right. And in the midst of that, the U.S. world leaders, they're going to introduce the digital currency. And it's going to all lead into the mark of the the charagma. OK, and this is going to be a global thing. That's the hour of temptation, the time of testing. And I will show the nations thy nakedness. I read that, verse 6. And I will cast abominable filth upon thee and make thee vile, and will set thee as a gazing stock. Because ultimately, America's going to be that gazing stock. Okay, right now you have nations that are looking at America like, I want to get the hell up out of here. That looks like a dangerous place. Every time I turn on the TV, is a mass shooting. And why are they always targeting the children? Why are people going to, schools and shooting up schools, shooting up children? Which, see, we understand that this is all witchcraft. Okay, the mistress of witchcraft is at work, which a lot of these things do happen, but nevertheless, a lot of these things are set up by the devil. Okay, and we know that. Okay, but regardless, it's still happening. It's still the agenda of Yahweh Bashar Shai is still manifesting. But that just goes to show you and a lot of people know about the so-called illuminated ones and how they get down, and how there's an agenda on taking the guns, agenda on taking your rights, agenda on censoring you. All right, there's a new bill that they're going to pass, try to ban TikTok, but it's a bigger bill. It's really, that's the disguise to take away your autonomy online. Okay, and it's going to happen. All these things, they're not going to stop. This is the devil coming down unto you, having great wrath. Okay, and it shall come to pass that all they that look upon thee shall flee from thee. See. They're gonna get out of Dodge. Okay, they're gonna leave Babylon. All these heathen nations, because these heathen nations are over here because they're making money. They're not over here because they just love America so much. Now you do got some of them that really love America. They were born here. They don't know no better. But what's gonna happen is it's gonna get so hot and heavy. Judgment's gonna be so hot and heavy here in Babylon. Pretty much the writing is on the wall. That's why these other nations are pretty much getting ready to back up out of the dollar and trade amongst each other, which is all. And even then, there's a layer of witchcraft within that, because This is all leading all these nations into a global digital system, which the wicked elite, okay, the true witches and warlocks of this world that really what's it called? Rule this world, the Chaldeans of Babylon, okay, the modern day Magi. They're the ones that are really orchestrating all these things. And it just so happens that all these nations are in lead with making these CBDCs. So you already know that there's agendas beyond agendas. But see, we're not, as the scriptures say, we're not ignorant of Satan devices. At least he should get a advantage over us. We very well know that this is all enchantments. This is the Mistress of Witchcraft at work. Because not even the Russians, beguile their people as much as Babylon does. Okay, and all that come to pass, and it shall come to pass that all they that look upon thee shall flee from thee, and say, Nineveh, which this is not necessarily speaking of a Nineveh, which that happened back then, but this is really speaking about, this is prophetic. Okay, this is actually speaking, spiritually, this is speaking about America. Is laid waste. Who will bemoan her? When shall I seek comforters for thee? Because nobody's going to bemoan Babylon the Great. All right, I want to switch tracks. I can read I'm pressed for time. Let me stay here. Let me jump, okay? Let me just read fast. Let me just continue to read fast. Okay? So, because I was going to go into Revelation 18, because they're not going to bemoan you. They're not going to help you. They're going to cry because they're not going to make any more money off of you. Art thou better than Populus? No, thou was situated among the rivers that had the waters round about it, whose rampart was the sea, and her wall was from the sea, which, this city was a defense city. Okay, like a city that would never be taken down. That's pretty much the spirit of America. You ask these Americans, we're the top nation on the world. We got the greatest military. Ethiopia and Egypt were her strength, and it was infinite. Put in living with her helpers, right? She had all these, this speaking about Populus, but it's applies today. You have all these nations that were in league with Babylon the Great that hold Babylon the Great up. Okay, like Asia. It talks about that. I believe it's 2 Ezra 16. Thou Asia are partakers with Babylon. Okay. China, Japan, Korea. They bought into that Western society. They're knee deep in Western culture. But even them, they're starting to hate this whore. Okay. So you had all these helpers, these nations, all right. Yet was she carried away, meaning she went down. All right, and that's how all these nations ultimately there's a rise and then there's a fall. And we're in the fall of Babylon the Great, all right, the mistress of witchcraft, the whore that sitteth upon the scarlet-covered beast. Mystery Babylon. Her young children also were dashed into pieces at the tops of all the streets. Which you can read Isaiah the 13th chapter. It says the same thing, because all these prophetic visions of the end, all the prophets saw it. When you go into their books, they all saw the same thing. Okay, they saw different parts of it. They saw the collapse of Babylon. They saw the mighty men of Babylon, for born in the fight. Well, it tells you also in this chapter that they become as women. And they cast lots for the honorable men. All right, so they went into slavery. And all her great men were bound in chains. Thou also, shall be drunken. Which goes into, you're going to drink of that cup. All right, that cup of the righteous indignation of the Heavenly Father. All right, and it's taking place right now. And the Lord is using the left-hand side to pretty much crush America and all these world governments, these economies, pretty much to bring judgment on the earth, which they believe that, they're going to be able to, their enterprise is going to be a success, that the N to the W to the O is going to be success, that they're going to, chip the whole world, this and that. But that's not going to happen. Thou shalt also be drunken, thou shalt be hid, and thou shalt seek strength because of the enemy. All thy strongholds shall be like fig trees with the first ripe figs. If they be shaken, they shall even fall into the mouth of the eater. Meaning, you're going to be completely broken down. Okay, every facet of American society that upholds this well-oiled machine. Okay, we read the prancing horse and the, and all the things that are going on, the chariots and everything that goes on to make America great. You have the military. Okay, you have the federal government, the state government, the county governments. Okay, all the mayors, all the military bases. Okay, all that's going to break down. You won't have people fleeing from the military. Okay, they don't want to fight. Okay, it's all going to be broken down, which is another sign that another sign to these nations that they're going to shoot missiles. We're going to hit them while they're weak. Behold, thy people in the midst of thee are women. See, that the spirit of woman is going to be in the spirit is going to be in Babylon the Great. The men are actually going to be as women, and we know when that's just women. Ain't nothing wrong, but when adversity comes upon a woman, she doesn't have the strength to fight back. She actually needs somebody to save her. Why do you think all these Disney movies, the woman being saved by the prince in shining armor? Why do you think that's so popular? Because that's the spirit, the duality between a man and a woman. A woman, she's helpless in a time of war. When war comes, all that feminista shit, all that feminism, all that strong, the black woman is God, and all that, I'm independent, all that shit's going to get thrown out the window. Okay? And Nahum is seeing a time in which this place, Babylon the Great, everybody's going to be as women. Okay? Outside of the elect. Why do you think Isaiah 4:1 is going to come to pass? Because all these men going to be like bitches. And the scriptures tell us to gird up thyself like a man. Okay? And you already know these women, they're going to be searching for a real man in that day. If the Lord has mercy upon certain of our women, which he is, the Lord is. Okay? Behold, thy people in the midst are women. The gates of thy land shall be set wide open unto thy enemies. The fire shall devour thy bar. It's the same thing when you read Isaiah. It's the same thing when you read Jeremiah. When you read Revelation, it's the same thing. It's speaking about this one event. When you read Joel, okay. When you read Habakkuk, it's the same prophecy. America's going the land of unwalled villages. Okay, you gonna be right for the taking. Okay, for the plundering. Isaiah the 13th chapter. Isaiah the 14th chapter, the 24th chapter. All right. Draw thee waters for the siege, fortify thy strongholds, go into clay and tread the mortar, make strong the brickling. Okay, pretty much prepare. America, you should be preparing for all-out war. Okay, all these nations are already economically leaving the hegemony, the American hegemony. Okay. Or hegemony. All right. The world reserve currency. They're pivoting. There shall the fire devour thee. See? It's speaking about this event of nuclear fire. The sword shall cut thee off. It shall eat thee up like cankerworm. Make thyself many as the cankerworm. Make thyself many as the locust, which are two creatures, all right, that symbolize decay. All right, because the cankerworm, the locust, what do? They'll the moth. They're a sign of decay. They're a sign of things being spoiled. Okay. It says, thou hast multitude thy merchants above the stars of heaven. That's how you got rich. All right, it tells you that also. Let me bring that up. Isaiah, what is that? No, Ezekiel 28. Thou art wiser than Daniel. Let me just bring that out real quick. I got to wrap up soon. Got to link up with a brother. But let me. I want to bring this out. Right, the merchants, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and guys that you don't even know of, that are not out in the forefront. How they became rich. All these multi-international companies, how they became rich. Okay. Ezekiel 28 and 3, behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. With thy wisdom and with thy understanding thou hast gotten thee riches and gotten gold and silver into thy treasures. Okay, the complexity of shipping and receiving. Okay. By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic. See? Trafficking goods. Okay, which you go into Revelation 18. It tells you that. Even the souls of men. Okay. Slaves. Okay, gold, silver, precious gemstones, precious woods, cattle, all manner of beasts, all manner of linen, silks. Okay. Everything that's the electronics. Okay. all different types of metals, greater and lesser metals. Okay. Has thou increased, let me read it from the top again. By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic hast thou increased thy riches, and thy heart is lifted up because of thy riches. You see that? So America got lifted up. Pride. Okay. Pride goeth before destruction. So we very well know, okay, that pretty much America, spiritual Nineveh, spiritual Sodom, spiritual Egypt, okay, spiritual Babylon, or Babylon the Great, is getting ready to be destroyed. It's all the signs are here. It's actually we're living it out right now as we speak. Thy crown are I'm back in Nahum 3 and 7. I'm just gonna finish it up and I'm just gonna end it. Nahum 3 and 17. The crown are as the locusts, and thy captains as the grasshoppers, which camp in the hedges in the cold day, but when the sun ariseth, they flee away. A complete collapse, and their place is not known where they are. Thy shepherds slumber, O king of Assyria. Okay, which is likened unto Babylon the Great, the king of Assyria. Okay, the king of Egypt, the Pharaoh. Thy nobles shall dwell in the dust, meaning America's going to be destroyed. There will be no more great men of America. There will be no more king of Babylon. Okay, there will be no continuity of government. All right, there will be no state lines. There will be no Grand Canyon. There will be no New York, California. Everything's going to be completely desolate. Thy people is scattered upon the mountains, and no man gathereth them, because they're destroyed. There is no healing of thy bruise, right? Because when those missiles are shot off, World War III, they're not going to be turned back. They're going to accomplish what they were set up to do, and that was to destroy you, and to destroy the inhabitants here that are left. Okay, I believe that's is it Job 20 or 18? It shall be ill with him. I believe Job 20. It shall be ill with him that is left in his tabernacle. Meaning, if you are here in America when those missiles are shot off, and you are not part of the elect, it's going to be bad for you. You're going to be turned back into the dust. You're going to be the sacrifice. Okay. There's no healing of thy bruise. Thy wound is grievous. All that hear the bruit of thee shall clap the hands over thee. Right. You're going to be that gazing stock. You're going to be scoffed at. And they're going to wail, not because what happened to Babylon, but what happened to Babylon in a sense that all these nations are going to go back into the Stone Age. Okay, they're not going to be able to they were rich. These nations were living good. All these nations, all their economies are predicated off of America. Everything's based upon America. China, how they got rich is all based upon America. India, which the majority of their inhabitants are poor, but there's a big middle class. The middle class, there's a bigger middle class in China than there is in America. They surpass the middle class. And there's more millionaires and billionaires in China. Why is that? Because of the goods. So these nations, they became rich and built up, their infrastructure, all because of America. Okay. It says, for upon whom has not thy wickedness passed continually. So this is all going to be payback. All right. For what you have done, not only first and foremost, starting with the Israelites, woe to the bloody city. It's full of lies and robberies. What you did to establish this great nation. The Most High has not forgotten. The Lord didn't, forget. Oh, okay. Esau did that. I forgot it. Nah, it's still in his mind. Okay, he that toucheth you touches the apple of my eye. Okay, meaning you touched the Israelites, you destroyed the Israelites. You grabbed up the so-called Negro, you brought him over here to suffer slavery, to build up your plantations, your cotton fields and your corn and your hemp. Okay, and your sugar cane. All right, and through your mining and through all these, through that slavery, you were able to build up these trillion-dollar industries that are today. Okay, the insurance, these big insurance companies, and then through your witchcraft, you pretty much, deceive the whole world into thinking paper money is real money, and buying goods with paper money, and then heaping to yourself all the natural resources. All the gold, all the silver, all the cobalt, all the precious gemstones. So you about to be destroyed, Babylon the Great, the mistress of witchcrafts. All right, and we know all the secrets. All right, the witchcraft and enchantments that you're casting upon the people to deceive the people. But ultimately you're going to be destroyed. All right. So until next time, shalom.